Welcome to another episode of Big and Stupid Game Reviews. I'm Stupid J.
Big Mike. Today, we're reviewing Sleeping Dogs.
I guess I should be expecting some sleeping style jokes from you.
No.
But how it made you want to fall asleep.
No.
And how,
I have no jokes about this game.
Ugh.
None.
You disappoint your fans. It makes you want to drink. That's what you get for not bringing coffee.
Mmm. It's not good.
This is delicious.
No, it's not.
Well, we're not reviewing rum today.
Okay.
So,
Let's do Sleeping Dogs.
okay.
What'd you like about it?
The biggest thing that pops out to me in this game is its attention to detail. There's a lot of really good details in like alleyways, little back, like just exploring, finding my way on top of rooftops, like finding garbage up there and stuff like that. There's a lot of attention to detail. That's my favorite thing about this game. And exploring it, obviously, too, is really fun because it's a big city. It's a nice, big, open world. Not one of the biggest I've played, but still well put together. And, you know, I really enjoyed that.
The city's big, and the city's detailed.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel like anybody's living there.
No,
It's a big, boring city.
there's a lot of... you can definitely see difference in a lot of parts where there's so much traffic, it's ridiculous. And then, like, 3 people are walking the street, like, along or whatever, and it's the same, like, 6 people, like, all the time. But it's not like this is a huge studio, you know what I mean? And this is, like, a first attempt at this, and you could tell when you play it. And I told you off camera that this reminds me of, like, the first Saints Row, where, like, I enjoyed it, and it was fun to play, but then Saints Row 2 came out, and I was like, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be, and it's awesome. So it feels like this is a great attempt, and all I see is potential to be better and be more awesome, and that's what I'm really hoping. I'm hoping for a part 2, and I'm hoping for it to be better.
Yeah, I'm not even going to play it if there's part 2 because... Well, I guess I hated Saints Row 1.
But you love 2.
I love 2.
2's your favorite.
So...
Exactly. But, to stay on track here, I also like the combat. I had a problem in the beginning, but once I figured out it's all about timing, I really enjoyed the combat. Not the gunplay. That's a different issue, and that's for later. But I do like the whole combat. I like that it's Chinese and that it's in Hong Kong, I believe, and I love all that. But I do have a problem with that at the same time. I'll get to that later as well. And there's a lot to do. There's a lot of mini games, and there's a lot of variety, and there's a lot of things that are different. That, like the jumping onto cars while moving, and the shooting mechanics for the driving sections, I think are cool and fun, and I like doing that. But other than that, it doesn't give you too much more different that you haven't done already in other open world shooters that have done it before, and better.
Better.
So
everything is done better. Everything has been done better. But I think that it's because they tried to do too much.
Yeah.
Like...
all the hacking mini games.
The hacking is the worst. The worst hacking I've ever
Which
done.
one? Which one? There's tons of
the
them.
ones where you just guess.
Yeah, those suck.
You just get. No, they don't tell you how to do them. They're just like, oh, you're gonna have to guess how to hack, and then you're gonna guess.
No, you're absolutely right.
When you're hacking.
There's no tutorial for those at all.
Nothing.
There's none. And you know how anal I am about tutorials.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're gonna do a hacking thing, put some skill in it. Don't just you have 3. Guess what numbers are there?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. The whole thing, like, my main problem with it is I need 3 things in a game. I need it to be visually interesting, which this is to a point. I need interesting or likable characters. This game has none. And I need it to have something that I haven't seen before.
Well,
or something that has been done before, but make it better. This has everything that you've done before, but it's all worse than it's been done before.
Yeah.
None of the characters are likable, especially your main character. He's the most bland cop, gangster ever. He's not likable. What's he like? He's not likable as a cop because he's going around killing everybody. He's not likable as a gangster because you know he's a cop. So, like, you don't like him as either.
No, being a cop is the biggest downfall of this game because you constantly have to do non-cop shit. Like, go and kill those bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go and shoot them in the face.
Yeah.
Or environmental kills, which are fun to do, but again, make no sense. Like, one dude, I threw, there was a engine compartment opened up in a car, and I kicked the guy into it and released the engine, and the engine fell on the guy and just smushed him into nothing. Cops don't do that.
Yeah, and that one where you punch it, where like you kick him onto the thing and then you pull the gate down, and the gate's like completely down, so you've killed the guy.
But the other thing too is, downfall being a cop is the driving around. When you fuck up, you hit another car, you hit anything, you lose experience points for being a good guy at all times. So everything that you've ever done before in an open world game like this, where you're just kind of like, oh, I just want to get to the next mission, and you drive like a complete prick, and you just run people over, and you go and do whatever. You can't even do that in this. Well, you can.
You can,
but
and I did, but that's why...
You're going to lose all of your cop experience, and you're going to have the real cops actually chase you.
Terrible.
Yeah, so that's kind of its downfall. Like, it makes for a good story for this style of game, because most open world games, you're the bad guy. You have to be. I mean, no one is going to be responsible enough to go ahead and make you the good guy in an open world game, except for these guys.
Crackdown, the first Crackdown, which was good. You were the good guy.
I hated that game.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the controls were terrible. I thought everything about it was bad.
Well, it was old, but that again, that's not what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, so the thing is, the open world done better in Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto, even though I don't like Grand Theft Auto. The world feels alive, at least in the Grand Theft Auto games. The combat is Batman Arkham Asylum, but it's better in Arkham Asylum. The exploration, it was sort of reminiscent of the Assassin's Creed, but Assassin's Creed is like 10 times better as far as, you know, getting up the buildings and stuff. The setting, the characters, the Hong Kong gang stuff in the Yakuza games, it's done better in those games.
Yeah.
So like, they give you a bunch of stuff from a bunch of games that are already good, and they make it worse, and they cram it all into one game, and they make you, they put you in control of this character that's unlikable to begin with, and then he does all this shit that makes him worse. So it's basically the worst game of all time.
No, it's not. We could probably sit here and name many more games.
Yeah, I could probably. Gears of War.
But I mean, my biggest pet peeve in this is that it's Chinese. Not the fact that it's Chinese, but nothing is really Chinese about it.
No.
The way it looks, but then you turn on your radio, you're listening to like American hip hop. There's some Chinese hip hop, which is pretty neat, and that's what I wanted to hear. And or classical Chinese style music. And a lot of it's just not there on the radio. And you're hearing like an English guy giving like commercials. You're like, what the fuck is happening? And then everyone's talking in English. They're just like, here we are in Hong Kong, buddy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's go out and shoot some dudes. You're like, what the fuck?
Every once in a while, they speak Cantonese. But
they throw it like in the middle of a sentence too. But then they'll be like, oh, fuck ass. Like, they make sure they swear in English though.
It's terrible. It's just terrible.
But the thing is that could have been a really good hook. I would have read subtitles.
Yeah, the subtitles. Yeah, if they would have done it. There's a lot of things they could have done to make the game good, but they didn't do those things. Therefore, the game is not good.
Yeah.
The shooting is terrible.
The shooting sections are not good.
The combat's not great.
It's good. It works though. I mean, I have no problem with the combat.
It works, but see, the thing is, like, I figured out the timing, but still, like, a lot of times I would hit it. But, like, if I was in the middle of an attack, if you're in the middle of an attack and somebody comes at you from behind, like in Batman or even the Amazing Spider-Man game, which I didn't like either, at least, like, you'll interrupt the attack to counter.
Okay.
You don't do that. No. You just get hit.
No. Yeah, well, that happens in a lot of games. I mean, almost every game, actually, except for probably Batman.
Batman and Spider-Man. But again...
Yeah, the shooting sections are not good, and I probably would have preferred it without. I understand you're gangsters and all that, but the first whole half of the game, you don't even use guns.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
Well, that's like Yakuza. They do the same thing.
And I wanted to be more like an old school kung fu style. And I hope there would be a Sleeping Dogs 2 where it's like the 70s, you know, when it's all like retro with big hair and everyone's fighting in their shitty
Yakuza.
denim. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't play those games. You know, but, you know, and it's all kung fu. I mean, this game really could, you know, I really think the game has potential to be awesome, and it's just not there yet.
Well, that's the thing.
That's my problem.
It does a lot of things that could be good, but it's not good, so it's not good.
I mean, well, yeah. But
there was one thing I enjoyed. I'm sorry. I remembered one thing I enjoyed. The karaoke. That was it.
The karaoke was hilarious, actually. But, I mean, there's a lot of neat little stuff. It just doesn't all work 100%, and it doesn't all flow as well as it should. That's one of the problems, is like, it's just a little bit choppy. Like, combat, the chase scenes, the running. It's not horrible, but it's enough that if you play enough video games, you notice it. You know, it's just one of those things where it's just like, you're almost there. You're almost there to making this game awesome, you know. But, you know, well, what's your recommendation on it?
My recommendation is just stay away from it. Like, it's not a terrible game because everything almost works, but nothing actually works. So, if you want, you know, an open world crime game, play Saints Row. If you want a game with good combat, play Batman or something. You know, if you want an exploration game, there's plenty of those. Infamous, Prototype, Assassin's Creed, everything that's in this game is done better somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's basically pointless to play this game. I mean, if you can find it for $10 when it goes down in price because nobody buys it because it's a bad game, pick it up for $10. Maybe it's worth it, but for me, I mean, I wouldn't pay.
Well, I mean, based on my recommendation is, first and foremost, if you're impatient like me, or have ADD like you, this definitely isn't a game for you, because this game, you will have to be patient.
Yeah.
You have to, again, you have to follow the rules of the road and do all that. And if you're not into it, I can't recommend it, period. Because there are other games, if you want to run like a maniac, Saints Row is what I'm always going to recommend, 2 or 3. But I don't think it's that bad of a game. It's very playable. I do enjoy playing the game, and even despite all of its little broken things, there's still enough different stuff that catches my attention, and I do enjoy playing it. Again, I see a lot of potential, so I do recommend it. I just probably wouldn't pay more than $40 for it.
Yeah.
That's what
well, the potential thing is what bothers me. It's like, oh, we almost perfected this. Let's try something different, and then we'll almost perfect that, and then we'll try something different, and nothing works the way it should. And that's basically it. So, don't buy this game. But do like us on Facebook, subscribe to our channel, and
absolutely. If you're in Reading, go to Plug and Play Games. Philadelphia, go to Game Fix. Both support us, so definitely support those stores, and we always support the independent stores.
Yeah, and if you're up in the Poconos area, Lucky Funtime Video Games.
All right, because you know those guys. I don't know those guys,
Yes.
but they support the show. Then thank you. Of course, we always appreciate that, and of course, thanks to Alicia's Anime, who always has a link up for us, nwydgaming.com, who always has a link up for us as well. So thank you to those other cool websites.
Yes. But the most important thing is subscribing to us on here, YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
And then, yeah, we'll see you next time when we play more games or something.
That Mike will probably hate.
Yeah, and Amber fell asleep, so I guess I'll see if I can figure out how to turn this thing off.